Okay, welcome everybody. Let's just take a few just deep breaths, your normal breathing style, but just deeper, and then full exhale. Just kind of and let everything kind of go with your exhale. I'll change my view here so I can see. And maybe just notice on these next couple breaths, when you take an inhale, where does it tend to mostly go? And if you want, you kind of mute yourself and shout it out. And I would be curious, and I think it would be, there might be some commonalities. And if not, that's okay too.
The belly, down into the belly.
In the belly?
I would say between my my chest and my belly,
Uh-huh.
right where your bra ends and your stomach begins.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about the same for me, like the kind of more rib cage area.
Yeah.
Cool.
I do that as well. It starts in my belly and then I bring awareness more under my rib cage and try and breathe into that.
Great. Yeah.
And it's successful. I do.
Great. I think it's fun to notice, where it is we do naturally breathe. And I think at different times of the day and different stress points in our life, the breath goes to different places. And so it's nice just to be aware of where it is, right now and today. So why don't we take a few breaths, and again, we can use our hands to kind of emphasize kind of moving the breath down as low as we can, so which is down to the feet. So pressing into the thighs and just kind of ending up with that pressure down through the knees, which drops into the feet. Okay, so we can inhale to prepare and then exhale all the way on out. Yeah, and just kind of this easy. For me, I feel a little bit more energy in my feet, and I want to look down and just make sure that my feet are even on the floor or the foot plate. Good. And just kind of feeling that energy. Maybe the foot is getting a little bit wider or longer, and imagine that it is kind of spreading out and creating a broad surface support. Why don't we take one more breath with that? And then we'll come and sitting up tall. And then let's just notice maybe the energy right underneath our thighs. We didn't talk about that last week. But as you were pressing through, you might have just felt some more weight. So maybe just breathing and bringing, because there's our thighs are in contact with the chair, right? So just taking a breath and maybe spreading the thigh out as much as you can as you inhale, or imagine that you're doing that. It's our part of the sitting surface. We won't spend a lot of time with that, and then we can actually maybe just lift up or wiggle around a little bit if you have the ability to do that, and feel your sit bones even on the chair. And let's actually do a little side to side rocking, just to kind of feel one sit bone, a little more weight, and then center, and then the other sit bone. and center. So we're going to inhale as we go over to one, doesn't matter which one, and center on the exhale. And then inhale as we wait over to the other, and exhale, come back to center. As we exhale and come back to center, think of just drawing this belly button to spine and this imaginary corset around our waist. And inhale over, and exhale, pull our corset together and grow tall, or crown of the head to the sky as we come back to center. Inhale, hug center, grow tall. Inhale, exhale to center, grow tall. Go one more time. Center, grow tall. Over, and center, grow tall. And now just kind of feel like you're even on both sit bones. Hopefully you're not seasick or anything from you rocking back and forth. Good. So we'll take a couple breaths now into our pelvic bowl, which you talked about last week a little bit. Hi, Susan. And so we're going to breathe, bring our breath into that pelvic bowl. So your sit bones, we're going to think about kind of as the sit bones and tailbone and pubic bone, really, all of that together. We can think of that as the base of the bowl. So we're going to inhale into this big bowl, and then exhale, just feel the weight of our breath drop into the base of the bowl. And as we weight down into the base of the bowl, see if you can also reach up with the crown of the head. It's almost a natural reaction to as we root down, as yoga actually teaches, we root down to grow tall. So we're going to root down to grow tall. And I think I may have given you that image last week of water pouring into that bowl. And so feel that imaginary picture of water just pouring into the bowl. And it kind of seeps into every nook and cranny of the bowl and then settles. And now it's even, right? We got the water filled up to just below the rim of the bowl, which is the hip bones. Okay, so we're going to keep that water even. We don't want to spill it out one way or the other. Okay, and let me know if something doesn't make sense when I say give you those images. But now we'll just take a couple breaths and remind ourselves of this corset from the low back all the way around to the front. So kind of in between, the space in between the hips and the ribs. So trying to create as much length in that space as you can. Okay, so inhaling into the low back and the belly, and then exhale, belly button to spine. And that belly button, it doesn't aim straight back. I think of it as kind of aiming at a diagonal, kind of up towards the thoracic spine to help us grow tall. So almost reaching to the thoracic and then to the back of the neck, and then again, up and out the crown of the head. Just every chance we get, lengthening. We're going to move up to the rib cage again, our favorite. So if you feel like you want to place your hands to feel movement, you can do that. If you don't feel like it is beneficial or it's not something you're capable of doing, we can just focus on feeling the rib cage move. So inhaling, feel the ribs lift and widen and broaden, and then exhaling, feeling the ribs funnel down and draw together, but really staying lifted in the sternum here as we do that. So inhaling, opening the rib cage, the lungs fill up, and then exhaling, the ribs close and they squeeze all the air out of the lungs. And so squeezing out, and kind of one of the nice things about Zoom is, well, it's kind of nice and not so nice, right? We can see ourselves, but so it acts as a mirror. So look for yourself, look for that length in your reflection every once in a while when we're doing some of this breath work. Might as well use that Zoom screen as an asset. So again, inhaling and really lifting and opening those ribs, and exhaling, closing, and every last bit of air out. And I'd like to next just bring some attention into the sternum area here. And go ahead, you can use your fingertips if you're able to, and give yourself a little self massage. You can use the heel of your hand if you prefer, and maybe kind of feel where the ribs come into the sternum, creating that awareness of, oh yeah, the ribs are attached there, and the sternum affects the ribs and the ribs affect the sternum. And you can move this kind of self massage up into the collarbones, right? Kind of, I like to go on top, but I also like to kind of have my, I'm going to come down here, have my fingers kind of go above and below and just do a long stroke. And for me, and I suspect maybe many of you, you might have a lot of tightness or congestion underneath that one, because that's where the pecs kind of are not too far away from there, and they get overworked for a lot of us sitters, people who sit. So give yourself some self-care through there, and we'll come back and let's just do a couple shoulder rolls so you can kind of feel the collarbones broaden and the shoulder blades draw back and then down the spine, and then aim them together almost as if you're fanning them together. Draw back, down, and together. Back, down, and together. And nice. Okay, let's take another breath or two and just go into a little head nod position as we inhale. So we can inhale and then exhale, maybe just let it go. So inhale. So remembering our head nod is, you can think of it as you're giving yourself that little kind of a double chin, but you're reaching the crown of the head towards the ceiling. And you're finding this as much length back here as you can. And if you even think of it coming from, down in between the shoulder blades, see if you can find that length almost from there, and just getting a little bit more activity, connecting the spinal muscles from the neck all the way down in between the shoulder blades. So we got our head nod. Nice. So our head is on top of our spine, which is where we really would like to have it carried most of the time. So we did a few head nods here, which I'll let you do a couple with us. Do you remember them? So drawing the head on top of the spine and reaching the crown of the head to the ceiling, but letting those shoulders stay relaxed away from the ears and wide across the chest. So now we're going to keep our head nod, and we're just going to rotate and turn and look to the right. Look over the right shoulder. Good. And then come back to center. And we can inhale, head nod, and turn. And exhale, come back to center. Okay. So I'm going to watch you guys. So head nod, make sure you find the head, and then turn and look. And anchor that opposite shoulder blade back and down. Good. Now eyeballs, look even further over that shoulder. Look, look, look. Now keep the head in the position, but try to bring the eyes forward. So you're working your eye muscles, your optical muscles. And then bring your eyes back again, looking over that shoulder. And then looking forward. And then let your eyes pull your head forward this time. Sweet, that looks nice. Okay, let's look over the other shoulder. So head nod, make sure that opposite shoulder is anchored back and down, and look over the left shoulder is what I'm looking over. Good, anchoring that right shoulder back and down, and eyeballs working to look a little bit further than you think you can. Then keep your head where it is and bring your eyeballs forward. Yeah. Good. And then keep your head where it is, Ludi. And I caught you. Good. And now bring your eyes back again. I'm sorry, I forgot where we were. and then eyes forward and bring your head, let your eyes bring your head forward. You were just one step ahead of me, Ludi. Cool. Okay. So it's fun. It's nice to do the eye work. It's good for the nervous system and the brain, as well as a range of motion. Okay, let's do a little head nod and then ear to shoulder. Good. And back to center and head nod and ear to shoulder. And this is like, and back to center. It's not a motion that we do like super readily, but our neck muscles do that. And a lot of us are tight that way. We're going to side bend your right arm up and over towards your left ear, and then bring your right ear to your right shoulder. There we go. Sorry, I kind of got a little wacky. When I'm doing things opposite of you guys, I have to think. And then we'll release. This time, let's do the same thing. So left arm over to the right ear, and then we'll look up and behind us. And you can kind of adjust your hand to get a little more stretch. If you want, you can kind of draw that right shoulder blade down and then allow it to come up and bring the head up to your starting position, and then draw it down again. So kind of a release and then stretch and release and stretch. And then you can completely release that hand, and we'll do that on the other side. So we just added a little bit to that. So right arm up and over to the left ear, side bend, the right ear to your right shoulder. And then you can look kind of up and behind you and get a little bit more different of a neck stretch. And then if you want, you can, again, shrug the shoulder up and bring the head to your start position, and then draw the shoulder down as you drop the head down. So it just adds a little more active stretch there. And good. And then we'll completely release that. Nice. All right. Okay. Just do a couple little things with your head that you feel like you need to do, because that's a big stretch. It's a lot of stretching. Yeah, for the neck. All right. Let's just do a couple of little quick shrugs. So up, 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 and that kind of releases some of the tension. Up, up, up. Let it go. Big up, where they don't belong, and then up. Big up. Overemphasize it, and then let them go. Nice. Okay, let's do some just shoulder rolls here again. So shoulder up, back, and together. Up, back, and together. One more, up, back, and together. Now we're going to do one at a time. So let's do the left and then the right. Left. Notice how you're going to bring that arm along with you. Just let it come. So you're alternating shoulders. Over exaggerate the movement as much as you can. Yeah. Nice. Let's go the other way. So forward and forward and forward. Kind of give me your best sort of shimmy. And good. And good. Thank you, Lynn. That's a good one. Okay, great. Let's bring the hands up now on top of the shoulders. We're going to just inhale, elbows together, and exhale, squeeze the elbows apart, shoulder blades together. Okay, so. And really feel the breath. Feel what's happening with the breath. Inhale, in between the shoulder blades, and exhale, open the chest. Inhale. Inhale, creating space in between the shoulder blades there, and exhale, open the chest. Do one more, and then turn them into big circles. So come up, Good. Point up and forward and down, and squeeze the shoulder blades. Elbows reach to the walls, up to the ceiling, down and around, and up and around. And we're going to reverse it.
I'm having trouble with the up to the ceiling movement. Can I see that one more time?
Okay, yeah, so we were coming back and we were here and then up to the ceiling with the elbows. So yeah, now bring the elbows together and keep pointing them to the ceiling if you can. And so you might be having trouble because perhaps you're tight in your lats or your triceps, which I am. I know that. I like that move. Let's just reverse the move. So now you're going to come up to the ceiling. Try and reach the elbows to the sky. And then out wide and down. Good. Let's do a couple more of these. So forward and then up. Good. And out to the side and down. Let's do one more. Forward, up to the sky, out. Squeeze the shoulder blades down. Good. Is that helpful? Okay, good. Great. Let's just take a couple breaths here now with our arm. A little bit of arm opening the chest. So we're going to inhale. Just take the arms up as high as as is possible for you here. So we're going to inhale up. If you can, come to a Y. Good. And then exhale, we're going to press down, palms down. So this is this idea of a winged wine opener. Inhale up, and then exhale, the wine opener pops our head out, and we have an open bottle of wine. So we're going to inhale up, and exhale, press down. So as you press down, imagine you're pressing through that cork, right? You're pushing down through resistance. Squeeze the shoulder blades down and together. This time we're going to change it up. We're going to move with the breath. We're going to do pulse the breath for 2 counts. So we'll go up halfway and then we'll go up the rest of the way. Okay. And then we'll come down halfway with half of the breath capacity and then down the rest of the way with your full exhale. So it's inhale, second inhale, exhale, exhale. So it's and remember, you're pressing through weight. You're pressing that, you're trying to press that cork out. So you have to squeeze the shoulder blades down, to press the arms, and one more with 2 breaths. Now we're going to do 3 breaths. So parsing the breath out for 3 counts. So you're inhaling, a third of your lung capacity, and then the next third, and then the next third. Okay. So inhale for 1, 2, 3, and then down 2, 3. Good. So and I'm trying to breathe audibly so you guys can kind of hear me, but you breathe however it works for you to best feel your core and to empty your lungs and move your rib cage. Okay, so it's, again, let's do a couple more. One more. Nice. Let's inhale, bring the right arm up. Reach to the sky, touching the sky. Good, and pressing down. And then inhale, bring the left arm up. Reach to the sky, and exhale, press down. Okay, this time we're going to bring that right arm up, reach to the sky. Now we're going to side bend. Imagine you're lifting your waistline up and over something as we side bend the spine the best we're able to. Good. So you can lean that left arm onto your chair. Good. And then bring yourself back to center and over to the other side. So when we're doing the side bend stuff, think about being your body and your arms being in between two panes of glass if you can. So you're not going to be rolling forward as you do that. You're going to try not to. So now let's bring the left arm up to the sky, reach long, grow tall, lift up and over something as we side bend. Good. Reach as we bring ourselves back to center. Okay, we're going to add on to that. Right arm up, nice and tall, reaching, side bend, keeping it a nice pure side bend. Inhale into the rib cage. So you guys stay in this side bend position, but breathe into this part of the rib cage. See if you can lift the ribs as you inhale, and exhale, pull the ribs in. One more breath. And bringing it back to center and grow tall. Okay, and left arm up again. We'll do that little extra couple breaths on that side. Growing tall, up and over. Good. Try not to roll forward. Take a look at yourself in the mirror. Good, and breathe into those ribs. See if you can move them upwards. And then exhale, drawing the ribs together and in. One more breath to bring us up and press down. So really trying to feel how the breath can move us, right? So we're gonna add on to that again. We're gonna bring that right arm up and side bending over. Good. And now reach that top arm a little bit further longer if you're able to. And then exhale, you're going to grab a hold of an imaginary apple, pull it down and squeeze the elbow into the waist. We're going to try and stay in our side bend position though. So again, we're going to reach and then grab the apple and pull it down. Reach, grab the apple, squeeze that shoulder blade down into the back hip pocket. Reach, and grab the apple and pull it down. Good, reach. Good, now keep reaching, bring it up to the sky, bring it and reach to the other wall to help you come up to sitting. Beauteous. Let's do that on the other side. Does that feel good? To get some side bend in? Okay, let's bring the left arm up. And again, grow tall, side bending up and over something. Good. Marty, can you pull that left shoulder blade back? That left shoulder back more? Great. Nice. Does that feel different? A little? Okay. Grab the apple and then pull the elbow down into the back hip pocket. Good. And reach. Good. Think about that shoulder blade squeezing back and down towards the back hip pocket, into the opposite back hip pocket if possible. Reach and pull down. Let's do one more. Reach and pull down. Now reach up to the ceiling, reach over to that opposite wall. And notice how when we really reach out that arm, it does help pull us, right? And so, and it engages, kind of connects our arm into our back and into our core. Beautiful. Okay, let's do a little, I'm gonna just tip my screen so you can see what where my arms are. So let's bring the arms, so as if we have a tray on our hands here. We're holding that tray and the elbows are gonna stay close into the side. Suck those shoulder blades back. Feel like you're really sucking those arms, bones back into the shoulder socket and feel them draw down. And we're just gonna kind of open up the door and then bring the hands back to center. So let's inhale, open, and exhale. Try and maintain that open chest and maintain the activity in your mid back. You can think of squeezing the elbows into the waist and maybe even pressing kind of downward and into the chair back, right? So they're kind of pushing back and in and down. And nice. Let's do one more. Activating those. And then we're going to switch our hands so that they're palms facing one another. And think of pressing against something. Good. And then keeping that pressure away as we bring the arms back. So it's as if we have a TheraBand around our hands and then close. So press it open and close. Let's inhale as we press open. Exhale as we close. Do one more. Good, good. Okay, now we'll do palms down. So same thing, keeping those elbows into your side, shoulder blades back, down and together, and then press, slice through the air, and then bring it back. Good. And try and keep the hands super like conscious of them being flat, and notice maybe if they don't want to be. I know my wrists kind of do weird things, so I like to check in with them and keep the hands flat if you can, squeezing those shoulder blades back, down and together, and back, down and together as we open. One more time, and back, down and together. Good. And let's just do some wrist circles, some really kind of slow, fingery wrist circles, leading with, let's lead with your index fingers if you can. And then we'll go the other way. And then we're going to do circles leading with the pinkies. It's just a little different. And you can go the other way. Sweet. Okay, let's just send our arms out to like about a 45-degree angle, perhaps away from the body. And I'm going to do a little, just so you can see what is going on with one hand at least. Okay. Can you guys see that okay? No. Good. See my hand. Okay. So fingers, really extend those fingers. And you guys can have the hands about 45 degrees away from the body to start with, really reaching out long. And then we're going to go ahead and bring the pinky finger in towards the palm, press, and then drag it out and send the energy out. Starfish your hands really wide. And then the ring finger, reach to the palm, press and drag it and send out the energy, long fingers again. And then the middle finger, press, drag, and send it out. And then the index finger, press, drag, and send it out. And the thumb can reach across, press, and drag it and send it out. Do that again faster. Pinky. Good. Ring, middle, index, thumb. Okay, take a break. Make sure the shoulders, the arm bones are really pulled back as we do this. I felt like maybe I didn't emphasize that enough, so I want to emphasize it. So shoulder blades kind of suck the head of the arm bone in, but you're extending the pinkies out so we have as much length as possible. One more little set here. So pinky, ring, middle, index, thumb. Awesome. Okay. Let's just take a few more breaths here and kind of close with another little breathing exercise. So we're going to inhale into the chest. We're going to inhale for 3 counts. We're going to inhale in first to the chest, and then into the ribs, and then into the belly. And then we're going to exhale belly, so belly button to spine. and then ribs, and then chest, kind of softening the sternum and the ribs. So that's all in kind of one breathing cycle, right? So it's inhale for 3 counts to into those 3 parts. Does that make sense to y'all? Okay, so let's inhale into the chest, into the ribs, into the belly. Now exhale, belly button to spine, then ribs draw in, and then sternum kind of softens back. Okay, so again, inhale into the chest, opening the chest. Exhale, and I'm sorry, inhale into the ribs, lifting the ribs. Inhale into the belly. Good, now exhale, belly button to spine. Exhale again, corset and ribs. And exhale again, soften the sternum, get all the air out. Every last bit. One more time. Okay, inhale chest. Inhale ribs. Inhale belly. Now exhale, belly button to spine and corset ribs, and soften the chest and get every last bit of air out. Okay, you guys, let's just finish with just one big inhale up and bring the hands together. Good. Press the hands together here. Lift the heart, lift the chest. As you press the hands together, see if you can open the chest wider. Open the collarbones wider. Good, and then we're gonna just slide the hands down so that but keep the palms together. And then you can slide back up. And we'll slide down. So you're kind of stretching the wrist a little bit. Good, and slide back up. Nice, and we'll do one more this way, slide down. And then back up. Oops. And then we're gonna go ahead and bring the hands into the opposite prayer position. Good. This is hard for a lot of us. So see if you can press the whole part of it. Yeah, good. And so we'll slide up now. And then down. And we'll slide up. And down. Good. See if you can get the bony part of the, try and get the rib. There you go. One more time. Up. And then down. Okay, ladies. We're going to finish right there.